Let's move on to the next issue that I want us to talk about. That has to do with the GNPC-AKER Energy Shares Agreement. So GNPC wants to increase its stake in AKER Energy and AGN Petroleum. Now, Parliament has approved it. I mean, your Parliament, you're a member of Parliament, and you've approved it. Do you really, is that something that Parliament approved, and so I'd want to believe that you're part of it?
Well, the fact that I am a member of Parliament doesn't mean I agreed with that rubbish. With all apologies to our viewing public, that Parliament did. That is totally unacceptable.
What's your issue with it?
First and foremost, why was AKER contract, when their contract ended, why was it not renewed in 2009? What made AKER to come back to do this? And I guess if you read the coalition of civil society organizations in the fight against this gargantuan fraud that this government once again wants to perpetrate on the people of this country, you come to one conclusion, that this family and friends is going beyond, comprehension. In the first place, AKER Energy, their contract ended in 2009. It was never renewed. They themselves left. Now they came back somewhere 2017. They influenced amendment into the governance and administration of our oil in this country, and those changes were affected. But one simple question I ask: it is projected that these two wells were going to get about $2 billion. Who did the evaluation? The evaluation, the assessment and analysis were done by a third party. Now, that third party, what's the guarantee? And I want to ask this simple question. What is the guarantee that the value is up to $2 billion? We certainly cannot tell. What is the guarantee that oil prices, the prices they projected, for which reason they think that we should be sinking 1.6 billion plus in this deal, that the oil prices are going to remain so, more so when several countries are moving away from oil to if you like, renewable energy? What is the guarantee? 3, what is the guarantee that the cost that is projected is not going to increase when there are still several things to be done in that field? I think that there are several questions that people must ask. Why is it that AKER Energy could not even get a suitable investor to invest in it? People were not interested because the projections are harrowing. Yet this government wants us to do that. You know the important role that is played by Gabi Ochemdako's wife, who is a former member of the GNPC board. What is her role in this? So I'm saying that the media will do us a lot of good if you do your own investigation. So that, look, I can sit here and state the facts. MPP person can also state the fact. And then you are expected to provide a position that is a MPP or a NDC. Right. But in this matter, it is just completely unacceptable. If you look at the variations, the calculations, they don't add up. And I really don't think that what Parliament did great disservice to the people of this country. And I expect this government not to act upon it. And that is why I will support any move by civil society organization to oppose this attempted fraud on the people of this country. I was opposed to it. I'm not a member of the Energy Committee. I was opposed and I walked out. I didn't sit in to participate in that particular decision that was taken because I totally and strongly against it.
But do you subscribe to the idea that GNPC is taking up more stake and wanting to play a bigger role in the oil sector?
GNPC over the years have been given up to $1 billion. What have they been able to do? $1 billion. $1 billion. And what have they been? Not a single well have they been able to. I'm saying that this, look at the management of the GNPC. Who are those who are appointed there? Who are those who constitute the board? It is once again the family and friends of this super incompetent and super corrupt government. And everything they do there, I have very strong suspicion they do that for their own good. I mean, they have no shame even in defrauding the state in the nature of Frontier Health, who engage a private Nigerian bank. They defraud Ghanaians. Go to the airport, you find Nigerians working at our airport. This is a security installation. Working in areas that we don't lack the expertise to do so. I'm saying that they once again are engaged in this. These are questions that civil society organizations are asking. What is the guaranteed evaluation which was done, an analysis by a third party? And in fact, there is a research that says that about 50, in fact, all the African countries who have gotten oil got less of the value of the oil they should have gotten. Why did AKER come back after this government came to power? Why did they come back? What was the motive? Check and find out who constitute the management of AKER. There was a lady in the office of the vice president, and I remember when we were in opposition before the 2020 elections, I raised an issue on a media house, and I had several fraudulent individuals who were calling me. And I'm saying that this must not be accepted. That lady who was in the office of the vice president, what is her role? Who bears a Muslim or an Arabic name? What is her role in the AKER company? These are some of the issues people are raising. Let's fight this. And you, the media, have a critical role. It's just that, unfortunately, a section of the media follow the MPP like a shade.
I'll come back to this issue of what if the GNPC is just seeking to take up a bigger role in the oil industry?
Nobody has any problem with the GNPC. That has been the concern of progressive
And you talk
forces.
about they being giving $1 billion in the past and they not having anything to show for it. But yes, the oil industry, it's expensive to be in the oil industry, to play in the oil industry.
Some countries, oil management institutions have been given less than that. The point is that there is a motive and there's an interest. The $1 billion is monumental. Look, Israel, don't get me wrong. That has always been the position of my party, and that has always been my position as someone who leans towards the left, that we have the capacity as a state to own our own industry. I have raised concerns about the kind of arrangement we have had, not only in the oil industry, even in the gold, or extraction of our mineral resources in this country. That has always been my position. But we must do that with some sense. It is not just about we saying that, yes, we want to have a stake, buy 70% of AKER and the other 30% of another company in the upstream. That is not. We should be looking for value, looking at value for money. That how much are we? Tell us what is the valuation. Israel, if I come to sell my Batakari to you, my northern smoke to you, and I tell you that, oh, this smoke value at 100 Ghana cedis, you wouldn't just pay 100 Ghana cedis by my word. I am selling. I am interested in making money. You would want to find out. Now, if I come to tell you that, oh, I got Evans to do the assessment, and Evans' assessment concludes that it's really 100 Ghana cedis, will you just pay? You would want to be involved in the assessment that Evans has done. The point is that...
Do you ask those questions that you're asking now, the valuation, how they went about it and all of that?
They haven't. If you check, a memorandum of understanding was sent to Parliament, leading to this useless approval and shameful approval done by Parliament in our name.
You didn't have an opportunity to question it.
I'm saying that it's a useless approval done in our name, and that is the saddest aspect. Even the budget which was read, in my contribution, I said we should reject the budget, but that was just my word. But the budget was approved, whether I like it or not. It is a budget approved by Parliament. But the point I'm just making in this matter is that they haven't given us the clear, conclusive, and convincing explanation as to the value. They are only telling us that they have done a valuation, and that valuation was done in the analysis by a third party. That is $2 billion. So we are investing about 1.6 billion to get 2 billion. The question is, why is it that AKER have still not gotten a suitable investor into it? They haven't. 2, what is the guarantee? 3, we all know the fluctuations in the prices of fuel across the globe. More so, the prices you can't be certain. Look at the price they peg it. What's the guarantee that it is going to be that high going forward? And 2, if it is not good...
There are no guarantees, Murtala Mohammed, but there's also there could be the possibility that the price could go higher.
Well, you see, must we take our destiny in uncertainty? That is dangerous.
That's the nature of the game somehow, Murtala Mohammed.
No, it's dangerous because why is AKER so interested wanting to sell it to S2? Why haven't they been able to get a prospective investor? Because it is not attractive. And 3, what is the guarantee that we get the 2 billion? We need convincing. They should convince us. And 4, which is very critical. 4, which is very critical. Several countries now are moving away to renewable energy. So it is projected by all aspects that within the next 5-10 years, the value of this commodity is going to diminish because several countries are moving away. Now, you don't need Archimedes to rise from his tomb to tell you that this is a very dangerous investment we are getting.
Will then that mean that we should shut down our our wells and shut down
It's
our
what?
industry?
Why must we shut down our
No,
industry?
if you're
Because
saying, you're saying that the world is moving towards renewable energy, and so essentially it's not prudent to want to invest in the
but
sector right now.
that is why we need to maximize the little that is left, and maximizing it, we must not pay that 1.6 billion
But we
for
must
some.
explore. We must,
No,
drill the
I'm saying
wells.
that is, you see, Israel, I am all for, we haven't even 100% ownership of our industry. But I'm saying that at the moment, must we pay the 1.6 billion in uncertainty that we do not know the value, whether the value will be up to the 2 billion projected by the very people who have an interest in wanting to sell it to us? That's why I use the analogy of my smoke. I come
You
to
see,
tell you
and
that
I'm also pointing it out to you that in the oil industry, really, you can sink billions of dollars in exploration and you won't get anything. And
so
that is why you see most of these companies coming together. So they have a partnership. They don't go alone.
Israel,
Okay?
fantastic point made there. That is when you don't have a choice. That is when you want to do exploration, that you are doing it with the conviction that you may get something or you may not get something. In this case, we are not under that pressure. Someone whose contract ended, it wasn't renewed, he left. Then if a different government comes back, they are friends, and they have come back, and they manage to change, amend some of our regulatory and governance processes of the management of our oil industry. They played a critical role in changing that, just to suit them. Now, these people are now telling us that, okay, we want to sell it. They haven't been able to get a prospective or an investor into it, and then we are just running there.
Maybe we are also exercising right of first refusal.
Why were they looking for other investors if they were exercising what you are claiming? They were not. It is not viable. We are paying 1.6 billion in something that we are not certain. Now, when we raise them, you tell me that in the oil industry, you can invest that with that. But I'm saying this one, we have a control. We have a control to be able to do. Do you think I won't be the happiest person if they sell it to us as $100 million? How much did they buy it? They bought it $100 million and claimed that they have invested so far $800 million. AKER, we can't even verify how they invested the $800 million into it. We can't even verify. Look, there is only one reason. The reason why they came back was that their friends won elections in 2016. They must come back to continue with the milking of the resources of this country. We must resist this. Unfortunately, Parliament is playing a role of an accomplice shamelessly in this deal.
The Parliament which you belong to.
Of course. I mean, and I feel like, you see, that's why sometimes I refuse to be addressed as honorable, because the conduct of some of our colleagues are absolutely dishonorable.